Hi, Assalamualaikum guys. Thank you for watching the video. Today I will present to you the history of electric charge insulator conductor semiconductor. This presentation will be presented by me, Danial, Aidit and Akmal. So this is the team. This is me, Brother Daniel, Brother Akmal and Brother Aidit. We move to the first chapter of the presentation, which is the history of electric charge. In year 624 until 546 before century, which is in the ancient Greek and Egypt age, the Greeks and Egyptians knew about the properties of static electricity, such as the fact that rubbing certain materials together could create a charge. After that, in year 1544 until 1603, which is the 16th and 17th centuries, scientists such as William Gilbert and Otto von Guericke conducted experiments with static electricity and discovered that certain materials, such as amber and glass, had the ability to attract small objects after being rubbed. After that, in 18th century, which is in year 1742, scientists such as Benjamin Franklin and Charles Augustin de Coulomb conducted experiments that helped to establish the concept of electric charge as a fundamental property of matter. In 19th century, in year 1827 until 1840, scientists such as Alessandro Volta and Michael Faraday made significant contribution to the field of electricity and magnetism, including the development of the first batteries and the discovery of electromagnetic induction. And finally, in 20th century, advance in technology and the development of quantum mechanics led to more detailed understanding of the behavior of electric charges at the atomic and subatomic level. We can see that in future, the technology become more advanced compared to the past. So, what are the application of electric charge? We can see in the in three field, which is the electronics, electrical power, and in medical. So, what is the use of electric charge in electronics? The behavior of electric charge forms the basis of electronics, which is a field that deals with the control of electrons to create devices such as computers, smartphones, and TVs. After that, in electrical powers, electric charge are used to generate and transmit electrical power. They are used in generators, transformers, and power lines to provide electricity to homes, businesses, and industries. And finally, in medical, electric charge are used in medical equipment such as ECGs, which is the electrocardiogram, and EEGs, which is the electrocephalograms, to monitor and diagnose the health of patient. Next, we move to the history of insulator. In ancient times, insulating materials such as rubber and silk were used in various applications, such as insulate wires and protect against static electricity. In 18th century, the concept of electrical insulation became more formalized as scientists such as Benjamin Franklin and Charles Augustin de Coulomb studied in the behavior of electricity and developed theories about how insulators work. While in 19th century, advances in manufacturing and materials science led to the development of new types of insulating materials such as ceramics and plastics. We move to the early 20th century. The widespread use of electricity in homes and industries led to a greater need for reliable insulators, particularly in high voltage applications such as power line. While in mid 20th century, the development of synthetic materials such as polyethylene and PVC expanded the range of available insulating materials and made them more affordable. Wha- Uh, And today, insulating materials continue to be essential component of modern technology. They are used in a wide range of applications, including electrical wiring, electronics, and transportation. What are the applications of insulator? I will tell you in transportation, thermal insulation, electronics, and medical applications. So the uses of insulator in transportation are insulators are used in a variety of transportation applications, such as insulating wires in cars and airplanes, and as thermal insulation in engines and exhaust system. While in thermal insulation, some insulators such as fiberglass and foam are also effective at preventing the transfer of heat, making them useful for insulating homes, buildings, and refrigeration systems. While in electronics, insulators are used to protect delicate electronic components and prevent unwanted electrical interference or signals. And finally, medical applications. Insulators are used in medical equipment such as pacemakers and defibrillators to protect the devices from electrical interference and ensure their proper functioning. That's all from me.
Right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, right now I'm going to explain about the history of semiconductor. All the journey began in 1874 when German physicist Carl Ferdinand Braun discovered that certain crystals such as silicon and germanium exhibited electrical conductivity when exposed to light. However, the phenomenon was not well understood and was not exploited until many years later. Then, in 1904, American inventor, which is John Ambrose Fleming, invented the vacuum tube, a device that could amplify electrical signals. The vacuum tube became the basis for early radio technology. After that, in 1947, American physicists John Bardeen, Walter Brattain, and William Shockley at Bell Labs discovered the first transistor, a device that could amplify and switch electronic signals. The invention of the transistor revolutionized the electronics industry and paved the way for modern computing. 3 years later, the first integrated circuits were developed, which combined multiple transistors onto a single chip of silicon. This allowed for the creation of smaller, more powerful electronic devices. Lastly, in 1970, the development of the microprocessor, a complete computer on a single chip, enabled the creation of personal computers, or as known as PC. Okay, so now let's discuss about the application of semiconductor. One of the application of semiconductor is act as a consumer electronics. Mobile phones, laptops, games consoles, microwaves, and refrigerators all operate with the use of semiconductor components such as integrated chips, diodes, and transistors. The high demand for these devices is part of the reason there are currently such long wait times for many consumer electronic devices. Second, semiconductor have a high terminal conductivity, so it can be used as a cooling agent in certain thermoelectric applications. Lastly, semiconductor play a role as a lighting and LED displays. Some semiconductors, usually those available in liquid or amorphous form as a thin coated film, can produce light and are used in LEDs and OLEDs.
So we continue with the history of conductor. The discovery of conductors started in 1706, where Francis Hauksbee used a flint glass tube to demonstrate some effects of static electricity to the society. And hearing about this, Gray, He performed his own experiments and sent an account of them to the society in 1708. And after a long of experiment, in 1729, he obtained a flint glass tube similar to the one used by Hawksby. The tube acquired a static charge when rubbed with a cloth or by a dry hand. Preparing for this experiment, Gray rubbed the tube, then noticing, however, that small feathers were attracted to the cords as well as to the tube. This simple observation was a breakthrough. Electric virtue could be conducted from one body to another, and it means that the material of the conductors allow the electric flow through the material. And after Gray died in 1732, Gray's friend De Sagulius gave the modern names, which is conductors, to the classes of materials Gray had discovered. The application of conductors. There's three example of application, which is the first one is transportation, next household appliance, and the last one is medical applications. So in transportation, the example of conductors is iron. Iron is a common material used in vehicle engine manufacturing to conduct heat, and the plate of iron is made up of steel to absorb heat precisely. For the household appliance, the example of conductors is aluminium. It is used in making foils to store food. It is also used in the production of fry pans to store heat quickly. And the last one, medical applications. It use of mercury, which is a common material in thermometer to check the temperature of the body. That's all. Thank you.